Good day to all of you. And today we begin with another essay written by Francis Bacon by the title of Off Travel. Now, we have to keep the background in mind that during Bacon's time, travel was not an easy affair as it is in these days. Today we have travel agents and a lot of knowledge is available on the internet. You can do bookings, you can know about the place, and you can book your hotels. You can have an idea about the place by googling it. So a lot of facilities are available today which were not available in those days, and it also took a longer time to travel from one place to another. So people had to make preparations in advance, and this is what Bacon talks about in his essay about the benefits of travel. And in those days, travel was undertaken as an educational experience to know more about the place. So, we will begin with this essay, and I'll quote where he says, "Travel in the younger sort is a part of education, in the elder, a part of experience." So, right at the beginning of the essay, he makes a differentiation between the older people and the younger generation. So, he says for the younger people, it is more a part of education. How it is part of education? Because when one travels, one explores new places, explores different cultures, comes across different kinds of people. So he learns a lot during that period when he's exploring a place. He comes to know a lot of things that he would not be able to know if he or she was living in just his or her own native place. So travel exposes you to a lot of different things, and that way opens your mind, changes your perspective, and kind of enhances your personality. So, for the young, it is a part of education, and in the elder, means the older people, it is a part of experience. That is, it adds to their experience. I'll continue with the quote. "He that travelleth into a country before he hath some entrance into the language goeth to school and not to travel." So he says that when a young child travels around uh, different places or unknown places, he learns a lot uh, from the sight and the sounds that are around it. He absorbs a lot of things, and in this process his awareness grows, and his learning process also becomes accelerated. So travel for a young child has a lot of educational value. The countryside or the place that he visits becomes a kind of a school for him, although not in the formal way but in an informal way. We'll continue with the second or the next lines. I quote, "That young men travel under some tutor or grave servant, I allow well, so that he be such a one that hath the language and hath been in the country before, whereby he may be able to tell them what things are worthy to be seen in the country where they go, what acquaintances they are to seek, what exercises or discipline the place yieldeth." Now, unquote, the meaning of these lines. Here, Bacon is saying that a young person who travels to an unknown place mm, should travel along with a chaperone or an assistant to keep a watchful eye. Now, why he or she needs a chaperone or a guide is so that with their knowledge and the experience, that is, the knowledge and the experience of the assistant, he then can guide the young traveler where to go, what to go, what to see, and how to go about it, and to know the place. The guide would also be able to tell the young person about the different interesting places that are there, and what friends to befriend. So, when you have a person who's experienced or who knows about the place in advance, that young person can be guided and nobody can fool that person. So, the chaperone or the guide can help him in making friends, can help him to visit the different places that are there, and also would be familiar with the language of that new place, and that would help the person who's traveling along with him to take advantage of that knowledge. Uh, Next, I quote, without the company of a guide, he will fail to observe, for else young men shall go hooded and look abroad little. It is a strange thing that in sea voyages, where there is nothing to be seen but sky and sea, men should make diaries, but in land travel, wherein so much is to be observed, for the most part they omit it, as if chance were fitter to be registered than observation. I unquote. Now, what is Bacon trying to say in these lines is that it is very important to be uh, accompanied by a guide, because without the company of a guide, the person will fail to observe the important and interesting things that he comes across in a new place. And while on a voyage in the sea, the seafarer gets to see nothing except the vast expanse of water and the unending sky above. So, what he sees is just the water and the sky. In such a case, the voyager should maintain a travel diary. Why he should maintain a travel diary? Because then he can write down his memories, his experiences, and later on in life, when he goes, when he reads through this diary, his mind would be refreshed with all the memories and with all the recollection of the places and the people that he had met. That is, if he maintains a diary. And when traveling over land, there is an overwhelming abundance of new sights and sounds and myriad things to observe. There are so many things to see, and a person would forget about it. So, it is good to maintain a diary. That is what Bacon is trying to say. And people generally fail to keep note of every detail of what they come across. So, he's saying when one travels, it is important to maintain a diary. We'll continue next time.